Well, these last few mornings, for the last few weeks probably, you've been waking up really chilly, you know? We've been putting on our warmest layers, we've been putting on our heaviest coats, and we've been going about our day. But imagine for a second if you didn't have a warm layer or a warm coat to put on your body these last few mornings. Well, no child should ever have to go through that. And the organization that's making sure that that is the case here in our area is Clothing Our Kids. We've got Bob Lewin, a president and a volunteer with Clothing Our Kids, joining us on the CoastLife couch today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Paige and Leah.
Yes,
Appreciate you asking us.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you in here because I think this is obviously a pertinent time of year to have this conversation and tell us about all that you guys do with Clothing Our Kids and tell us about your mission.
Sure. Well, our mission is to clothe all of the kids in Sussex County that need clothing. So we've been doing this since 2012, so it's been 12 years.
Yeah.
And working on our 13th year. And some of the things that we've done over the years is expand from the elementary school, which is where we started, into pre-K and Head Start, and then into the middle schools. And just this last school year, we added 3 high schools.
That's awesome.
So we want the teachers, the nurses, the counselors in those schools to know that we are their resource for clothing for the kids. Whether it's summer clothing, whether it's winter clothing, whether it's a jacket, shoes, boots, whatever it is.
And I mean, kids, you know, they grow so fast, so they go through a lot of clothing over the course of the year, and you know, sometimes you can't keep up with it, and that's where you guys come in. So if you know, counselors and nurses and teachers, they observe a student that maybe you know, isn't dressed appropriately for the current weather, how do they get in touch with you guys?
So it's a very good question. I'll give you an example. I have been a mentor at the East Millsboro elementary school, and I had a little 8-year-old, James, who came to school one day. It was just like a day like today. It was sunny, but it was very cold. And as you know, or maybe you remember, after lunch you get to go out and run around, and even if it's cold, as long as you have a jacket, the school has a policy of, you know, below a certain temperature the child must have a jacket. Well, James, the day I came to talk to him, didn't have a jacket. So he had a long face, and the teacher said, well, you're going to have to come to the classroom during recess. And all of his mates are out running around like crazy, and 8-year-olds have a lot of energy.
Yes.
So I sat with him in the classroom. Later on, I got his teacher to the one side and said, you do know about Clothing Our Kids? And she said, yes, matter of fact, I do. I said, could you order a jacket for James? So she ordered the jacket, the teacher ordered the jacket. The next week I came back, and there was James with a little down jacket.
Nice.
He did not know where the jacket came from, except his teacher handed it to him and said, this is your jacket.
Oh, good. That's beautiful.
I love that.
Finished lunch, and he's out the door with all of his mates running around with a new little down jacket. So that's what we do, multiplied by a lot.
Absolutely.
A lot. This year alone, I mean, we've had just over 17,000 articles of clothing just this year alone. And that represents about 1,750 children that we touched.
Yeah, it's a wonderful resource that you guys are there and to you know, help the folks who are seeing it firsthand, and they know that you're there. So we know that one thing the folks here along coastal Delmarva are great at doing, it is pitching in and helping out when needed. So if people are hearing this and they want to get involved with Clothing Our Kids, do you take volunteers? How do you get a hold of those jackets?
Right. So in order to get the jackets, we need to raise funds. In order to raise funds, we have volunteers that work on grants, that work on different events. We have a golf tournament every year. All of the monies go to the kids, with just an overhead for our rent for the center where we stage the clothing. So we have no paid staff at all.
Wow.
So if somebody wants to help us, we have a website at clothingourkids.org, and they can go there. There's a plethora of information there how they can get hold of us. And it's something that we count on because this community has been so good to us the churches, the different groups. We just had a Girl Scout group come last night, and they brought 2 bins where they, got clothing within the troop, and they brought it to us, and then they had a little pizza party at the center. So we'll do that for people.
That's awesome.
And that's something that we first experienced this week, kids helping kids. Which is a wonderful thing when you stop and think about it, because those kids need to know that, hey, they're blessed and they can help people, children their own age, that might not necessarily be as blessed.
Very true, very true. Well, Bob Lewin, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us.
Thank you very much, Leah,
about,
Paige.
Yes, this was an awesome conversation to have again. I think perfect for this time of year. And I know a lot of people keep that giving spirit going year round. So if you want to get involved, again, you can check out that website. But we've got another way for you to get involved in giving back to the community, and an easy way to save some lives. That's on the way.